5 days before our wedding, she looked me in the eyes and said, "My ex still loves me. I just need to see him once." An hour later, she called off the wedding. 10 days later, she came back crying, and I told her, "You chose him. Now live with it." I'm 34. We'd been together for almost 4 years, and after a year-long engagement, everything was finally coming together. Venue booked. Invitations sent. Families ready. Dress and suit tailored. Even our dog had a tiny tuxedo for the photos. Then, 5 days before the wedding, she sat across from me at our kitchen table with this strange, unreadable look on her face. "I need to talk to you," she said. I nodded, expecting something small, nerves maybe, a last-minute detail we missed, maybe a family drama. But then she continued. "My ex called. He told me he still loves me, and he wants to meet. Just once. For closure." I blinked. "Wait, what?" She said it again, like it was no big deal. Just a casual lunch with someone who'd broken her heart 3 years ago. I asked her the only thing that made sense in my head. If he loved you so much, why did he ever leave you in the first place? Silence. She looked down at the table. Didn't say a word. I was calm, not because I wasn't angry or hurt, but because I knew if I raised my voice, the damage would only get worse. Then, about an hour later, after I'd gone for a walk to clear my head, she texted me. "I don't think our marriage should happen." That was it. No explanation. No trying to fix anything. When I got back, she was sitting in the living room, eyes red like she'd been crying, but she didn't apologize or explain herself. I didn't yell. I didn't beg. I just looked at her and said, "It's your life. Do what you want." I went into the bedroom, packed a small bag, and left the apartment that night. I didn't sleep. I just kept replaying everything in my head. The way she said it so casually. The fact that she had probably already made up her mind before even talking to me. And the most painful part? We were 5 days away. People had booked flights. Family had taken time off. We'd spent months planning a future, and she threw it away for someone who had already let her down once before. The next morning, I started calling vendors, canceling what I could. Some things were non-refundable. Others were partially refundable. Altogether, I had already spent around $20,000. My phone buzzed a few times that day. Friends asking what happened. Her sister texted me just WTF. But from her, nothing. No explanation. Nothing. I tried to process everything without letting the weight of it crush me. I still loved her, as stupid as that might sound. But something in me just switched off. The trust was gone. I didn't reach out. I didn't stalk her social media. I didn't ask mutual friends what she was doing. I just sat with the silence and tried to figure out what the hell had just happened to my life. I wasn't even sure if I was angrier about her leaving or how casually she had done it. Like our life together was just some plan she could back out of if something better came along. That first night alone felt like the longest of my life. And at that point, I had no idea what would happen next. But 10 days later, everything would come full circle. In the days after she ended things, I kept things quiet. Told close friends what happened. Let my parents and siblings know. Most people were shocked. Some thought it was a prank or cold feet. But no, she'd really thrown everything away to see where things go with a guy who once ghosted her mid-relationship. I kept going over it in my mind. Maybe she was confused. Maybe I missed some signs. But the truth kept slapping me in the face. She chose to walk away. 5 days before our wedding, I spent most of that week canceling bookings and dealing with logistics. The hotel gave us a partial refund. The caterer didn't. The photographer kept the deposit. I added it all up, nearly $20,000 down the drain. So I did what I thought was fair. I sent her a message. "Hey, since this was a joint wedding and you called it off, I think it's reasonable to split the non-refundable costs. That comes out to around $10,000 each. Let me know how you want to handle it." She replied with just 4 words. "You're so ***ing cheap." That line, that tone, like she was offended I even brought up money. I responded, "Yeah, maybe I am cheap. So cheap that I'm asking for only half of what you threw away." She never replied again. I didn't chase her. I took the hit, added it to the list of lessons learned, and kept moving. Then, 10 days later, exactly 10 days after she walked away, I opened the door to my apartment, and there she was. Eyes puffy, makeup smeared, dressed in the same hoodie she used to steal from my closet. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. "I made a mistake," she said immediately, voice shaking. "He used me. He said all the right things, and then he blocked me the moment I told him I left you. I don't know what I was thinking. I messed up. Please, can we talk?" I stood there, not even knowing what to say at first. Part of me wanted to scream. Another part just felt empty. She went on. "I didn't cheat on you. I just thought maybe I needed closure. Maybe he changed. But he didn't. He's the same guy who broke me the first time. You were right. I'm sorry. Please, just give me a chance." I stepped aside, letting her in. Not because I wanted to. I just didn't want the neighbors hearing all this on the doorstep. She sat on the couch, I stayed standing. She kept saying the same thing in different ways, that she panicked, that she was scared, that she didn't think I'd ever walk away, that she didn't realize how much she had until it was gone. When she finally stopped talking, she looked up at me and said softly, "I want to come back. I want us." I looked at her. For a long second, I said nothing. Then I said the only thing I truly felt. "Go to hell." She froze. "Wait, what? You don't get to come back just because it didn't work out with him. I wasn't your backup plan. You made your choice. Now live with it." She stood up, muttering something like, "I knew you'd say that," and walked out. I didn't stop her. I thought that was the end of it. But later that night, her mother called me, and that call made everything even more surreal. That night, after she left my apartment, I sat in silence. No music, no TV, just quiet. I wasn't sad anymore. Not angry either. It was something else, like I had finally closed a door that should have been shut a long time ago. I thought that was it. Done. Until my phone rang around 10 p.m. A number I didn't recognize. I let it go to voicemail. A few minutes later, it rang again. This time, I picked up. "Hello. Hi, this is Angela." Her mom. I didn't say anything right away. I just waited. She let out a long breath and said, "I know you're upset. I know she made a mistake. But please, she's not a bad girl. She's hurting. She's crying nonstop. She knows she messed up. But deep down, she's a good wife. She'll take care of you." I actually laughed. Not out of spite, it just came out. The kind of laugh you have when something is so absurd, it's almost comical. "Angela," I said calmly. "With all due respect, she didn't just make a mistake. She blew up our wedding 5 days before it happened to run back to a guy who already hurt her once. Then she comes back only because he rejected her. That's not a mistake. That's a decision." There was silence on her end. "She regrets it," she finally said. "People do stupid things. You were so good together. I saw how happy you made her." "Yeah, until she thought someone else might make her happier," I replied. She started crying quietly. I didn't feel good about it, but I didn't feel guilty either. I wasn't rude. I didn't yell. I just said, "I'm sorry, but there's no coming back from this." Then I hung up. No more texts. No more calls. I changed my number a week later. And just like that, the chapter closed. Some of my friends were shocked that I didn't give her another chance. A couple said I should have milked the guilt, made her work for it, maybe even strung her along. That's not me. If you don't want me at my best, don't come running to me at your worst. I don't hate her. I don't wish her harm. I just don't want her anywhere near my life ever again. A few months later, I heard from a mutual friend that she moved out of state. No idea where. I didn't ask. People always say karma isn't real. I disagree. Sometimes, karma is just a man finally standing up for himself and saying, no. Looking back, I realize how close I came to marrying someone who didn't really value me. Maybe she did at one point. Maybe she still does. But she valued her curiosity more. And that was enough for me to walk away for good. I won't lie. It took a while to trust again. I haven't dated seriously since. But I'm working on myself, healing at my own pace. And if she ever wonders what could have been, that's not my burden anymore. I appreciate you watching till the end. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more content.